Well, hi there. I'm Josh Elledge, the Chief Executive Angel at SavingsAngel.com, and welcome to the Savings Angel Show. I'm podcasting to you from a windy and chilly Orlando, Florida. It is so cold here. How cold is it? It's so cold here, I have to keep the windows closed. Now, I'm an extremely busy consumer expert, money-saving advocate, syndicated newspaper columnist, and that guy that turns digital entrepreneurs into media celebrities at upmyinfluence.com. I love what I do and can't wait to get going on today's episode. So in order to help you save more, earn more, and live more abundantly on today's show, I'm going to be covering how to maximize spending your gift cards. We're going to talk about preserving your memories. I've got a special hack that you're going to want to use. And we're going to be talking about holiday fun at Busch Gardens. I've got a live on the scene report. With that, let's get going. Now, with the holidays right around the corner, we all know that we'll be giving or receiving gift cards this winter. It's one of my go-to gifts for casual friends or relatives. My mom, she just wants a gift card. That's all she wants. Like, I'd like to get her something thoughtful, but every time I do, she's like, just give me the Target gift card. So, well, I guess that makes it easier for me. Listen, I'm always excited when I get a gift card because that means I get to stretch every dollar and find ways to enhance my savings. So, here are my 6 tips on maximizing your gift card spending. You can rely on the Savings Angel to help you with this information. Ready? Number 1, save them up. Now, you never know when a gift card can be your saving grace in a tight spot. Money you don't spend out of pocket goes back to bills and other important expenses, and we don't always have a lot of extra cash lying around to begin with. So what I want you to do is save your gift cards like Visa or Amazon gift cards that could help you replace something important down the line when you really need it, but don't want to burn a hole through your wallet. So don't feel pressured to spend your gift cards right away if you don't really need anything. I mean, I've gotten gift cards as well where I'm looking around. Like, I remember someone got me a gift card to JCPenney, and I don't know. I couldn't really find anything at the JCPenney at the time. And I was like, I feel like I have to spend it. No, you don't. Now, I want to make sure we're going to talk about when I get to tip number 5. There is a little bit of a caveat with what I just told you about saving them up. Let's go to number 2. I want you to look for deals on the items you are looking to get with your gift card. Now, make sure you take the time to look through weekly ads, seasonal deals, etc., in order to get the most bang for your buck. For instance, this week in the Target ad, you could save up to 50% off on kids' toys and books. Now, if you have a Target gift card, one that you had for a while, well, you could save on holiday gifts for the kids by shopping now, or even, on, special events. Clearance after Christmas is generally going to be pretty good, and you'll be able to get those toys for a fraction of the normal cost. Now, if you want to use your gift card to shop online, you can also use websites like Groupon or Honey to search for coupons and promotions to get the hottest deals on your favorite items. Number 3, look for promotions that give you gift cards. Now, some stores like Target will give you $5, $10, or even $15 gift cards if you spend a certain amount of cash on certain items. For instance, the current Target gift card promotion, and this is long gone, I think, by the time you'll listen to this, but there was a promotion. Trust me, it was magnificent. See, I can't always be your best buddy in the moment when these offers come around. So that's why it's important that you learn the principles that I teach on this podcast. Now, this gift card promotion was offering a $15 gift card if you spent $75 or more on diapers using same-day order services. Now, this is a great way for parents to get money back for what they already spend. And hey, it's $15 you don't have to spend on your next shopping trip. Number 4, make sure you understand the terms and conditions. Always read the fine print and figure out if your card needs to be activated before use, if there are any limitations, or if there is an expiration date, which I don't like. That shouldn't be a problem anymore because of the Card Act. This was a number of years ago that they changed that. But For you do need to check this out. There sometimes can be for not store cards, but for Visa gift credit cards, that sort of thing. They can charge you, if I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken, I don't think I am, but a non-use fee. And what'll happen is that'll drain from your balance every month if you go past that expiration date. I am not a fan of this. These are important things for you to know so you remember how and when you can spend your gift cards. And again, this is one of the factors. Remember tip number one about you don't have to let it burn a hole in your pocket? Well, you might if depending on that expiration date. So I just want to make sure you are aware. Sometimes you have to log in. They give you a website where you need to log in and set up an account so you can monitor that sort of thing. Now, tip number 5. Keep your unused cards somewhere safe. Now, there's nothing worse than finding the perfect time to use a gift card and then realizing you haven't seen it since you got it last holiday season. What I want you to do is make a dedicated envelope or folder or baggie for all your unused gift cards so you always know where they are. And finally, tip number 6, my friends, keep track of your card balances. Now, you're not always going to use your whole gift card during one shopping trip. Take a moment after each transaction to write down the remaining balance on the back of your card. I recommend using a Sharpie so it'll last a little longer and it'll write a little easier. Now, if you forgot the balance on your card, no worries. Most cards, as I mentioned, have a phone number on the back or a website that you can log in so you can check and inquire about the card's balance. All right. So again, gift cards, chances are you're going to give one. Chances are you're going to get one. How do I know that? Because it's the number one gift by a landslide during the holidays. And being smart with your gift cards, well, my friends, that is part of living abundantly. Now, one thing I love around the holidays is family getting together and sharing stories. I've got some great stories that my kids, even though they've heard the stories several times, like stories about the turtle, stories about, I'll tell you that story sometime. Now you're probably like, what, Josh? What's the story about the turtle? Okay, I'll tell you the story about the turtle. So we have a little turtle pond out back. Now they're kind of screened in and that sort of thing. And we had a turtle, didn't look like it was going to make it. It had actually gotten stuck somewhere, and I think it kind of, drowned her. It was just really weak. So we kept it in a little bucket for a while, and it just looked like he was going on his last leg. He was going to die. And so we were just wondering, well, what's the most humane thing that we could do? So what we did is we traveled across the street, down the road a little bit, and we found a nature pond. And we thought, well, this will be a good time, I suppose, a good place for him to live out his final days if he's not going to make it. I mean, I really didn't know what to do. So brought him out there, set him kind of on the shore in the water, and he actually just kind of floated into the water and was just kind of like bobbing there. I was like, oh, it's such a dilemma. And forgive me if you're an animal rights activist and you're saying, Josh, you did it wrong. I'm sorry. I did the best I could. And so he's just out there floating. We went back home. Kids were so sad. We went back, checked on him again. He's just floating. Hadn't moved. After dinner, we went back out, checked on him a third time, and he was gone. And we were like, oh no. Well, we just kind of let nature do its course. Flash forward about 10 days later, and my youngest was about 5-6 years old at the time. And he's looking out our bedroom window on the second floor, overlooking the backyard. And he goes, Mom, Dad, a turtle escaped. And I'm like, what? What is going on with our turtles? And I'm thinking, how could a turtle escape? How could a turtle get outside the little screened in area? He'd have to get out of the water, which that's kind of hard to do, and then find a hole, maybe, I guess, somewhere in the screened in porch. So anyway, I go out there, and at the door to the screened in area is the turtle that we assumed was going to die and that we had moved a couple of 100 yards away, like 2 football fields away from our home, put him in the pond. He came all the way back home and was waiting outside the door to the screened-in area to be let back in and go back home to his pond. I'm happy to report that turtle, this was about 7 years ago that this happened. And that turtle is still doing strong in our turtle pond. We call him Stumpy now because he actually lost part of his paw or his hand or whatever you call that on a turtle. So now you know the rest of the story. Okay, so listen, back to the story. I got more of these, but okay, see, this is how I get going. So there's kids asked me to tell that story, my cat growing up story, funny things that they did. Listen, stories are awesome. It's especially poignant for our older family members and friends to share about times long ago. Wouldn't it be great to have these stories written down and shareable even after loved ones return home? Now, if you're into family history, these stories become invaluable to pass down to the next generations. I'm really into my family history now. I've been doing ancestry for quite a while. Now, this year, I am, because I've got some family members that they're definitely up there in years. I'm giving my family the most meaningful gift this year, and it's called Storyworth, something I found I think is just so cool. Now, what's so wonderful about this service is that you could choose to share with your family and friends, or you can keep your stories private, but ultimately what you're going to have is you'll have written a memoir about the stress and writer's block that comes from sitting down and quote unquote writing a book. You don't have to do all of that. So Storyworth is an online service, and it helps your loved ones tell the story of their lives through thought-provoking questions about their memories and personal thoughts. And here's why this works so well. Every week, because it's hard to write a book, but every week, what Storyworth just simply does is it just emails your family member a different story prompt, questions that they've never thought to ask, like what have been some of your life's greatest surprises, or what's one of the riskiest things you've ever done? And after 1 year, Storyworth compiles every answered question and photo you choose to include into a beautiful keepsake book that's shipped for free. Now, you never know what family history Storyworth will uncover. Now, one story I got to share recently was that my grandfather was an avid fisherman. And when I was little, I went fishing with him, and it was a really bad day of fishing with teeny tiny fishes. Like that's all that would jump on the hook. And every single one of them had to be thrown back. And as he was telling me it was time to pack it up, I actually caught, and this is in, I want to say Quincy, Coldwater, Michigan, if you know where that's at. I caught a 14-inch trout or bass, or I forget what it was. One of those kind of fish. I was so proud of myself, and my grandpa mumbled all the way to the store we didn't have enough for dinner, and he wanted to impress my grandma, so he purchased his fish. So... Anyway, listen, these are the kind of cool stories. I just, we don't want these things to pass on. So I want you to preserve and pass on the memories with Storyworth. It's the most meaningful gift for your family. You can sign up today by going to storyworth.com/savingsangel. Lots of savings, one angel. That's me. And if you do that, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase at storyworth.com. WORTH.com/savingsangel. All one word, lots of savings, one angel, that's me. And you get $20 off. And thank you so much to our friends from Savings Angel for sponsoring this fun Storyworth segment. All right, so right now I'm with Rebecca Romzek, who is the Communications Public Relations Director with Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay here. And we are actually in the midst, Becca, of Christmas town.
It's Christmas.
It's so beautiful here. So can you give us an overview of what Busch Gardens Tampa does for Christmas? Because it is so wonderful. It's so festival. There's so many great foods and characters and decorations. Like Busch Gardens is just completely transformed right now.
Absolutely. And let's break it down. Like you said, food, characters, decorations. We'll start with food.
Yes.
Because the holiday season is all about food.
Mm-hmm.
Food and family and having a good time and eating some yummy things together.
Yeah.
So not only do we have where we are right now in the middle of the Christmas Town Village, which has a lot of fun sample-sized items that are some returning favorites, but also some new things. The sweet potato fries with apple pie on them, they are like incredible.
Yeah.
I can feel myself like gaining the calories just by thinking about them, and I'm not mad. It's delicious.
Yes.
It's worth every bite.
I don't think there's any calories if you just inhale as you're...
Christmas calories are half price.
No,
Everybody
that's right.
knows
That's
that.
right.
That's the rule.
That's Jesus' gift for all of us.
Exactly. So you've got the food on the pathway that's absolutely delicious. You've got our specialty cocoa that we're famous for, and those super cute refillable mugs, which are good all season through January 6th. And we also have new dining opportunities this year. So we have a new Elmo breakfast with friends, and that's going to be at Dragonfire Grill. So it's the first time we've had an Elmo dining experience there. So if your kids are Sesame Street fanatics, that is where you want to go. So you're going to
tell me more about Sesame Street and the kind of the Sesame Street Christmas experience going on.
Absolutely. So you can start your day with this all-new breakfast experience with those family-friendly favorites and that time with the characters that's up close and personal.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an upgrade experience. So you're going to want to book that online in advance because reservations do fill up. But during the day, you're going to have Elmo's Christmas Wish, which is a very merry monster makeover of some of your favorite Christmas tunes. Because All I Want for Christmas is Cookies is a song that everyone needs to hear.
I love it already. Cookie Monster is actually my favorite because he's a little bit naughty, a little bit irreverent, you know. He's
mostly nice.
But
He's definitely on Santa's nice list.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so tell me more about, now one thing that people should know is this, when you come to Busch Gardens, it's not a separate ticketed event when you come to the holiday event, right? So you don't have to pay like an additional $70 more per person. Wink, wink, I wonder who we're talking about there. It is all inclusive.
Correct. So when you come to Christmas Town, it's included with your daily admission or annual pass to Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. So you can come in the morning, ride coasters all morning, get your adrenaline rushing, and then spend the evening under the lights, eating delicious food, and spending some time with the favorite jolly old elf himself, Santa Claus, who's right here in the park. Along with his favorite reindeer, Rudolph and Clarice, and Bumble, the adorable snowman, as we like to say.
Great segue. So tell me more about all the characters that you can get photos with and all of the character experiences. You already started getting into it. Tell me more.
Well, it's November 16th, so we're early in the Christmas season, but you've got time to get that perfect Christmas card photo with all of these great character experiences throughout the park. So, of course, you want to go see the big guy himself. And what we have at the park is Santa's House, which is sponsored by Coca-Cola. And you go through the house, and you're going to have those opportunities. You're greeted by the elves, and the elves are going to get you all excited about, well, what are you going to ask them for this year? You got to know we're here. It's exciting. And Mrs. Claus is going to greet you as well. She's going to have some cookies in the oven, which you can grab on your way out. And then you're going to go in, you're going to see Santa in his study, and you're going to spend that quality one-on-one time with him. The experience top to bottom is the only word to describe it is magical.
Wow. So one thing I really love to do on this show is kind of share some kind of ninja hack or something. So if we're planning to have a great experience at Busch Gardens in Tampa for Christmas Town 2019, here's one hack that I would recommend. Some of the food carts they're very popular, and so we've divided and conquered. So that's the first thing I recommend. Okay, boys, you go over and wait in that line. We'll wait. Mom and I will wait in this line, and then we'll grab our little tag and run up to you.
Exactly.
Tell me about how that works. Like, so we acquired a tag that had 10 punch passes on it. How does that work?
So the Christmas Town Sampler Lanyard is back this year. We've had it in previous years, and we've brought it back because we have so many good food and beverage options that they're really the best way to enjoy them all.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm like a kid in a candy store right now, and I'm supposed to be good on my diet right now. Is it? I'm cheating a little bit. It's totally worth it.
Fine. You need a cheat day or a cheat week, however you want to cheat season. It's fine. But yeah, so those sampler lanyards are going to be great to save and savor on everything that we've got on that Christmas Town Village pathway. So you're going to be able to get that chicken and waffle sandwich with those homemade waffles. They are so fluffy and good and baked with love. Like Claus level love is what we're talking about here.
Yeah, there's so much buzz over those waffles right now. And so I know right now, Mrs. Savings Angel and my two boys are waiting in line right now to go get. They may have that right now. And meanwhile, we're talking here and I'm not enjoying the waffles. Any other tips for making the most out of Christmas Town here at Busch Gardens?
So my recommendation is to come early in the day.
Yeah.
So if you wait until it's dark and the lights are already on, you might miss a couple of things, and you really want to experience Christmas Town to its fullest. So I recommend getting here early, and if you can, I recommend visiting on a weekday rather than a weekend.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to get that iconic moment with Santa Claus, because Santa's house is such a great experience that we take time with every single guest. So on the weekend, it's going to take a little bit longer to see the big guy. Yeah. So if you can pop in during the week, I highly recommend it. But the Christmas Town lanyard is going to help you out through the village. They also have quick queue passes available for Santa and Rudolph. If you're crunched for time, you're going to have that opportunity to really get the most out of your day at Busch Gardens.
So Santa's a very busy guy. I'm very grateful that he takes time out of his day. He's magical in how he does this. But if you want to come see Santa, he's at Busch Gardens.
He is. So come out, see Santa Claus, see Rudolph and Clarice as well. And we also have new princesses. So we've got
cute.
Really fun princesses throughout the park. So we've got an ice princess. We have our poinsettia princess. And new this year, we have a sugar plum princess. So to get that sweet tooth going, she's going to give you all her favorite recipes.
And Becca, what is the best way to get tickets? Are there any available discounts, that sort of thing?
So the best way to get tickets is going to buschgardens.com. And that's where you're going to see our best offers, not only for daily admission, but for yearly admission. We've got a great deal going right now for our annual pass. So we've got a low rate, no down payment. And you're going to want to get that pass because next year we've got something pretty exciting coming. And I may be signaling to this little structure behind me.
Right behind us. This is going to be, correct me if I'm wrong, so it's going to set some records for hybrid coasters.
It is. So Iron Gwazi is the next level of Gwazi.
Yeah.
We're evolving here. So in this next evolution, we are going to be North America's tallest hybrid coaster and the fastest and the steepest hybrid coaster in the world.
I'm looking at it. It is magnificent. Like as I'm looking at it right now, this thing is huge.
Yes, and the lift hill, as we continue to see the lift hill rising, I can feel everybody getting a little bit more excited about it. The anticipation is building.
You know, it's exciting being here in Florida and having some record-breaking coasters. And so my kids are a little bit older now, and so they really love those G-forces. And that's one thing that Busch Gardens here in Tampa is well known for, is if you want G-forces, you have a lot of options. Just real quick, run through some of the other really popular roller coasters available here.
So one of the classics here at the park is Montu, known for its amazing inversions. Coaster nerds are all about it. Yeah. I'm one of them, and I'm over there too. It's one of my favorites. I also love Cheetah Hunt for its launches. It's iconic.
Yes.
That experience it takes your breath away.
One of my favorite coasters. It's such a smooth and very cool experience. And I think they did, you know what's really cool about that coaster is they did such amazing storytelling in the track itself. Like, I totally get the story of being the cheetah on the hunt. You actually feel it the way that it kind of slides back and forth. Yep, absolutely.
That banking moment, it feels just like the mobility of a cheetah. And then to be able to get off that ride and to see cheetahs in our park, that's when you really make that connection to cheetahs and their flight in the wild and the things they're going through. And you care about cheetahs at the end of the day because you felt like one. Yeah. And that's what's so cool.
You know, actually, one of my favorite roller coasters here is, what's the Cobra's Curse. And that is one of the only roller coasters when I ride, I laugh throughout the coaster, just the way that it moves, and you're turning around and you're engaging with your family because you're like looking at each other as you're kind of like spinning back and forth around. It's a really, really great coaster.
Oh, those spinning moments. It's just it's a good time, and it's something that some of our younger riders in the park are going to be able to enjoy with their parents as like their first coaster experience.
Becca,
that location.
One last thing I wanted to mention, and I don't know if you have this ready, but I saw that there's some really great opportunities for military families and veteran families, I think, that are still available. Is that right? I know we did during Veterans Day.
Yes, so we have offers. SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment has our Waves of Honor program, which has got some great discounts, free tickets for military.
Yeah.
And those offers do change throughout the year. So the best way to check those offers is through wavesofhonor.com.
That's right.
Which is going to have the best rate available for whatever you're looking for.
Yeah, as a military veteran, I just want to say to the powers that be that happen to be listening from Busch Gardens and SeaWorld, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really, really do appreciate that. And Becca, I appreciate you. When my family and I love coming to Busch Gardens here. There's always so many fun activities throughout the year. If it's Howlow Scream, if it's Christmas Town, if it's just coming for other parts of the year, Beer Fest. I mean, there's just so much going on. There's always something going on here at Busch Gardens in Tampa.
We're very lucky, and it's such a cool place to be, and it's a different visit every time, and that's what makes Busch Gardens such an awesome place to come and spend time with your family, make some new memories. So we appreciate you guys coming out and joining us and celebrating with us, especially Christmas a little bit early in the season, so we'll take it.
Rebecca Romzek, you're the Communications Public Relations Manager with Busch Gardens here in Tampa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and we'll see you soon at Christmas Town.
Now, if you've loved hearing everything on this podcast, please share this episode with a friend. People need this information. There are people right now that they're going to lose that gift card that you gave them. That's why they need to listen to this podcast. There are people that are going to get messed over on fees, or they're not going to know about, for example, being able to capture memories with Storyworth, or they're not going to know about Busch Gardens. So we got to share this information. You and I together can change lives. Now, I recommend taking a screenshot and just post it on the Facebook or wherever you hang out wherever you hang out most, on Pinterest, Instagram, wherever. Screenshot. Just you hold the volume up button and the power button on an Apple phone at the same time, and now you got a screenshot. And now you can share that out onto the socials, or you can text it to a friend or something like that. And now, as always, if you have any specific questions, or there's something you'd like to hear me talk about, you could drop me a comment in the podcast feedback, write a review. If you do that, listen, I read everything. That makes my day. And nothing would make me, you will fulfill my Christmas wish if you were to write a review. Really, really simple. Just give it a little thumbs up and say, yo, Josh, I like you, something like that. That would make my day. It would make my Christmas wish come true. You can also join our Facebook group. Just search SavingsAngel. We've got a page and a group. Join the group. Group's more fun. You can call our podcast hotline at 407-205-9250 and leave me a message. Santa, if you're listening, you can leave a message. I'd love to play a message from Santa. I'll answer your question, write you back, or with your permission, I might even share your question, story, or message from Santa with others on this show. With that, have a wonderful week full of saving more, earning more, and living more abundantly. And thank you for listening.